you're an artist, you've probably saved a bunch of videos that show tips and tricks on how to improve. However, you rarely get around to them. But today I'm going to be doing exactly that. I've saved a bunch of viral TikToks that claim to improve your drawing, and I'm going to be putting them to the test. So let's see if my drawing actually improves by the end of this video. To assess whether or not they actually help me improve fairly, I created a grading system, and I'm going to rate how I feel after each of the exercises. I'm going to be grading them on how confident I feel in drawing, how inspired I feel to create more art, and how I generally feel about the exercise on whether or not it was useful in achieving what it promised. I have also gone ahead and done a simple drawing that I will recreate at the end of the video to see if I've gotten better. So here's the drawing. It's of Frankie from Monster High. It's very simple, nothing too crazy. I wanted it to be fairly straightforward. I've also graded how I feel about drawing currently, which is a 3. I feel like I could be a lot better. How inspired I feel, which is a 4, because I do have a lot of ideas that I feel like I'm not entirely able to channel. And exercise is obviously not relevant yet. Right, so without further ado, let's get started.
Are you a beginner? I mean, really beginner. Then you should try this. At first, draw lots and lots of lines and lots of circles. Small circles, big circles. After some practice, you will start to notice the difference.
So the first TikTok is more of like a warm-up. I began by erasing some little thumbnail sketches I had on this page. Started drawing loads and loads of lines. Really quickly I got a hand cramp, but I continued. I got bored and moved on to the circles. At first I kind of scribbled the circles how I would normally, but later on I challenged myself to try and draw each circle with just one line, and I was quite happy with how they turned out, to be honest. I never thought I would be proud of how I drew a circle, but some of these came out quite nice. Overall, I would say that I felt a little more confident with drawing after this, so I rated that a 4. In terms of inspiration, nothing really changed, so a 4 it is. I rated it a 9 because you should do it. It's a really helpful exercise, but it's nothing like crazy. Right, the next TikTok I chose because it specifically talks about focusing on drawing from imagination, which I'm quite bad at. I recommended that you follow this website and draw lots and lots of like gesture drawings. I didn't manage to screenshot the comment, but someone in the comments said that the drawings in the video were a bit too chicken hatching, I think is the term they used. I tried to keep that in mind while doing my drawings, and I started by making them quite sketchy, but then I tried to do them with as little lines as possible, and you can definitely see some improvement in that. And there you have it. I rated the drawing 5.5 because I did feel quite a lot better about my drawing skills after this exercise. I felt a bit more inspired because of the like poses, I guess, so I rated that a 5 as well, and I rated the exercise 10 overall because it is a very helpful exercise if you want to learn to draw, and I definitely recommend it.
What is the secret to drawing anything? It is my famous 6-step process is imagination. As soon as you've now understood all of these steps, you can then go in and start inventing characters yourself.
The next TikTok was a bit long, so I cut it down, but what he basically talks about is initially drawing shapes, then moving on to manipulating those shapes, and breaking down things around you into shapes, working on adding more like form to them to replicate anatomy, and then copying artists you like and how they exaggerate proportions and anatomy or whatever subject you want to draw, and then drawing from imagination. So I tried to recreate all of those steps. I drew some shapes in space. Then I started doing the next step, which was manipulating shapes, and I actually found this really difficult. It looks really easy, but I never thought I could be self-conscious about how I drew a shape, but they came out looking funny. Then I tried to break down some objects that were around me. Kind of don't think I did this properly because I did just draw the lamp, but whatever. I then tried to draw the settee, kind of breaking that down into boxes. Then I just copied his drawing on the arm. I drew some pictures of legs I found on Pinterest, and then I found a drawing of legs by my favourite artist, or one of my favourite artists, Zinchin, I believe, and I just drew it. I feel like I put too much like shading into it rather than focusing on the actual shape, but there it is, and then I drew it like from memory. I felt a lot better about drawing after this. I rated that as 6. Inspiration kind of stayed the same, so I rated it 5. And the exercise overall, I rated it an 8, because I do think it's a really good like roadmap for how you should learn to draw, but it's not really like an exercise, if you know what I mean. So I do recommend you do this, but for the purposes of this video, it wasn't exactly what I was looking for.
Tits Part 3. All from life. Set up things or just draw your surroundings. Draw things multiple times. Look at books or watch video tutorials.
Right, on to our final TikTok. My first drawing from life, I decided to draw this statue that we had in the living room. By this point I was really tired. All of this was in like one block of time. You can see the dog in the background, but I pushed through. I didn't finish it, and I really didn't like the way it came out.
The next day,
I decided to do like a more traditional still life, so I got some vegetables from the kitchen and laid them out on our bedside table, and I tried to draw them. I'm showing you drawing them, but I sat with my back to the camera so you can't see anything. There's a close-up of what I was doing there, and this is how it came out. I really regret putting the garlic in there because it was a pain to draw, so in the TikTok they said to like redraw things multiple times, so I just drew another close-up of that, and I'm actually really happy with the way it came out. The TikTok then said to draw from books, so I got this art book I had laying around and I started drawing the cover, but then I got really tired, went downstairs, made some muffins, did my makeup, and I realised that I just wasn't going to finish it, so I decided to just leave it. And in general about drawing, I felt about a 6 because I was proud of my garlic. Inspiration, I'd say like a 5, so that generally stayed the same, which is fair because that wasn't exactly the focus of this video. In terms of this exercise, I'd rate it a 10 out of 10. It is just how you learn to draw, really. Took a little break and redrew the drawing I had at the beginning of the video. This is how it came out. I felt like doing a slightly different expression because I hate drawing things over and over again, but I'd say it looks quite good. I don't know, what do you think? I do definitely feel a bit more confident about drawing after this. I'd say overall this was a success. Thank you for watching, goodbye.